This $4 trillion giant just produced a groundbreaking report saying that Bitcoin is in its acceleration phase. This is significant because it's not just Bitcoin Twitter. It's not just your boy Green Candle. It's not just the talking heads here in Bitcoin that are saying, hey, Bitcoin is ready to ramp up. These is a giant firm in Fidelity saying that Bitcoin is it set for further price discovery. Now let's jump in. As Bitcoin's current market cycle progresses, investors are watching closely for potential signs of continued price discovery following the post-election rise. Now, it said Bitcoin made its first pass passing 20K in December 2020. And shifts of this kind have historically been seen during previous acceleration phases. A time in Bitcoin's price cycle is characterized by high volatility and high profit. The key question, has Bitcoin already hit its cycle, this cycle's blow off the top, or does this asset have further room to run? Now, I won't bore you with the huge details here, but what we're seeing is that Fidelity is predicting a giant run here very soon. And that has to come with after Bitcoin crosses that $110,000 mark, because it says in 2024, we saw the market rise as much as about 56%. And they're calling it the post-election rise of 2024. So they're talking about other Bitcoin price discoveries here, but they're saying here, Fidelity's digital assets. This is not Brandon Keys. This is not anybody here in Bitcoin Twitter. It's not anybody in the chat saying all of this. This is people saying, or this is Fidelity, a $4 trillion firm, saying that Bitcoin is on its acceleration phase. And one surge occurred after the US election. If another occurs, its starting base would be near 110,000. They're saying this and releasing this report on a day when we're below 85K, folks. We're nowhere to be seen to this 110,000. But what we are seeing is that Bitcoin's price is gearing up for its next leg of this acceleration phase. And this is all coming from Fidelity. Fidelity has been very bullish on Bitcoin for quite some time. So we can't say that this is anything new or this is surprising. In fact, Fidelity is the only ETF that self-custodies their own coins, which is an interesting little tidbit. The rest all utilize Coinbase, but that's neither here nor there. They're talking about price discovery here, folks. They're talking about, hey, Bitcoin is ready for its next leg of their acceleration phase. And it suggests that this Bitcoin bull market is not done yet, as the acceleration cycle has not produced a blow off the top. So it's looking for that blow off of the top because it's in the acceleration phase. Its analyst Zach Wainwright is characterized by high volatility and high profit, similar to the price action seen when Bitcoin pushed above 20,000. Bitcoin's year-to-date reflects 11.4% loss, and the asset is down nearly 25% from its all-time high. Now, this recent average drawdowns, here you can see it's not even close to where it normally draws down. He suggests that this acceleration phase is moving closer to the completion of the cycle, as March 3rd represented day 232 of the period. Previous peaks lasted longer before a corrective period set in. So we're seeing this drawdown that we're seeing a little bit earlier in this cycle than previously. But that is because we also saw an all-time high before the halving. We've never seen that before. We see President Trump come in and we see 100K Bitcoin. We see institutional investors coming in. We see nation states coming in. We see giants coming in to these cycles that we've never seen before. So with that, why would we expect everything to be similar? right? There's still a potential of this blow off the top phase, but the acceleration phases, as he's describing here, they reached their tops 244, 261, 281, respectively, suggesting a slightly drawn out phase for each cycle. And we're in day 232. So we're still not to that blow off the top range here where it was 244 to 280. So maybe in the next couple months, we will potentially see that. That's at least what he's suggesting here. And that this parabolic rally is in the cards for Bitcoin because it's languished below that 100K since February 21. But there's been a good deal of momentum and it's compromised that Trump trade, which has dissipated. So Michael Saylor continues to buy. They've been following the footsteps. Metaplanet is buying. GameStop is buying. The recent buying and statements of intent to buy from a variety of international and US-based publicly listed companies show that the price agnostic approach to accumulating Bitcoin as a reserve asset and highlighted the positive future price expectations. Basically, all of these guys are saying, hey, look at the writing on the wall. This is what I've been yelling at you guys for, I don't know, God knows how long. Screaming into this microphone right here saying, hey, look at who is buying. Fidelity, BlackRock, all of these giant companies, large nation states are buying Bitcoin. And you're bearish right now? Or have you lost your mind? You're absolutely insane. And that's what this Fidelity report is saying. You're crazy. How can you think that Bitcoin is going anywhere but up with all of this? While it's difficult to determine the impact of these institutional investors on Bitcoin's price, said that a metric is to watch the number of days during the rolling 60-day period where Bitcoin hits a new all-time high. So these acceleration phases, look, it's still low. We saw one little bump. Look at how these little bumps here happened. We see basically a big, giant all-time high coming consecutively. So I look for this to increase. I look for the all-time high to be not hit yet. And Fidelity, who has been basically bullish on Bitcoin for God knows how long. This article was released earlier this year. So they've been holding true throughout this entire quarter, essentially saying that Fidelity believes Bitcoin is at a precipice of mass adoption and investors are not too late. So although we could be seeing that Bitcoin price of potentially rising here, we are seeing the buying pressure continue to rise, right? So I'm extremely bullish on what is going on here. We've gotten Fidelity's 2025 crypto market outlook. So let's go into here. Their key takeaways: Bitcoin's price is broken at 8 months of consolidation as pushed into uncharted territories. Macroeconomic factors, including liquidity, fiscal policy, and monetary policy, may continue to play key roles. And in the past few months, Bitcoin's price has outperformed that of Ethereum. So far, the trend is in line with how the two assets have behaved in previous bull markets. So with this, right, we're seeing Fidelity essentially say this bull run is not over. And I completely agree. For those of you that think that this bull run's over, I think we haven't even reached anywhere close to what we're going to predict here or what we're going to see. As Down Under Blues is saying, he doesn't like predicting the Bitcoin price. He likes to look where we're at. And I agree with you, right? If you look at where we're at, we're still in a chopping period. Look, I'm a talking head on the internet, so I got to throw out a price prediction every now and then, right? But what I'm seeing is that Bitcoin is not where it normally does, just looking at the trends of the other cycles. That's why I think if you're looking at the short-term price action, I think you should be looking at a longer outlook. That's essentially my point here. And I think that's Fidelity's point here. We got Barry White watching in from Twitter. So I know we've got nearly 200 of you across both platforms All night or higher to the goat says the like has been smoked like Cheech and Chong. The Bing Bong. I love it. Love you guys tuning in to everything I got going on here. But let's get back to the point. Fidelity is saying that we may be in acceleration phase and it's looking for a blow off the top. And they say that this $110,000 mark is the big barrier to entry, which I think is interesting because I think 110, look, that's like, not even 2% higher than the previous all-time high. So what I think what we should be looking at is the potential of all of these other big dogs coming in, all of these other big dogs looking at these reports. These reports go out to very big institutional investors. So the price and everything along those lines is, being sent off to, or these predictions are being sent off to people with massive amounts of money who are buying these ETFs. So the buying pressure is there. The buying pressure is continuing to raise up, right? I like 100-fold saying the bull run hasn't even gone to go. Down under blue saying predicting the price is comparable to a broken clock. It's correct twice a day. Hey, look, it's a tough game. I don't recommend trading at all. I recommend buying and holding and continue to buying and hold. And because of that, I'm going to give you guys some free sats courtesy of my friends over at the Bitcoin Well. So get your Lightning wallets ready because we are going to now play the wishing well. So get your Lightning wallets ready. This could get your chance to win 1 million sats. What do we got here? 210. It looks like we're on a streak at 210 sats. I got to tell the guys, hey, we got to give the candies, the green candle fans, a lot more sats here. But I do love always giving you guys some sats. And if you go to bitcoinwell.com/greencandle, the website will look like this. You can put your email in there right now, sign up today, and as soon as you start buying Bitcoin, you will get Wishing Well tokens similarly to what I have. And then you can just get those sats and keep them for yourself. You don't have to be generous like me. You can just keep those sats for yourself and continue to stack. So every time you buy, you're going to stack more and more Bitcoin because we're looking at a big sideways chop with increasing levels of volatility here over time, right? So they look for the start of the acceleration phase to start July 15th to March 6th, 2025. And the realized volatility was only from 45% to 51%. So this lies with other behaviors of other acceleration phases, right? So what they're saying is essentially is that this chop is in the acceleration phase and we have not yet seen that top, right? All of these guys, it's exactly right, man. You think that the hypothetical price, you think Bitcoin is going to increase, right, over time. So if you think Bitcoin's going to increase, that's why you're buying today. You're not going to wait to buy, right? BTC is the way. My man Dingo Booty in the chat. Always love seeing the Dingo Booty. Pause. But what we are seeing, Fidelity, like I said, folks, we've seen BlackRock. We see Larry Fink coming out and saying that you need to put more of an allocation of Bitcoin towards your portfolio. We see Larry Fink at BlackRock saying that the US dollar is in trouble because we are seeing the rise of Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. But mostly they're focusing on Bitcoin. So we have these big, giant money managers saying all of this stuff. And they're saying and relaying this to their institutional investors, which I think is very interesting, right? Where they're showing them these charts of Bitcoin's number of all-time highs in the rolling 60 days. They're showing them the charts of previous cycles. They're showing them the drawdown percentages relative to other acceleration phases and how this drawdown is much lower percentage-wise than other ones that we've seen in other cycles. So have we not even seen the low of this cycle yet? That is another question that we need to ask. Have we not even seen that yet? Just because they're coming out and saying, hey, we need this acceleration phase to pass 110,000 before it blows off the top. Do you think that this is actually going to continue to rise it up? And Fidelity definitely thinks so. I think so. I think that the more you put Bitcoin into cold storage, which my friends at Bitcoin Way really help you do. But if you go to Bitbox, you can also buy yourself a hardware wallet. Now, Bitbox is a recent partner with mine, so this is breaking news. So you could go to bitbox.com, or no, excuse me, bitbox.swiss/green-candle, and you can get 5% off your entire order. You can buy this Bitbox Swiss 02. I actually have one right here. I utilize this to store my Bitcoin. So go to bitbox.swiss/green-candle. You could buy today, use promo code green-candle. You could get your Bitbox there. You could get the hardware wallet. They've even got punch plates as well. So you could buy it all. You can do all of this today going to Bitbox. They've got the most secure hardware wallet. Go to the Bitcoin only and do all of that. And stack your sats, ladies and gentlemen, utilizing a hardware wallet and put it in cold storage. Bitcoin Well makes it easy for you to do that. And Bitbox, perfect partner for you to do that as well, because Fidelity does it. Fidelity holds their own keys, folks. Fidelity is the only Bitcoin ETF that holds their own keys, which I think is very interesting. And you guys should definitely keep a close eye on that, because they're actually holding on to the ethos of Bitcoin, unlike these other firms who are utilizing Coinbase. And they're putting out extremely bullish things like this, saying, is Bitcoin set for further price discovery? These, like I've been saying, this is not me saying this. This is not the talking head, Brandon, coming out and saying to you guys live here. This is the multi-trillion-dollar asset manager saying all of this. So it's extremely bullish. And even more bullish news for you guys. I was on this major podcast, Inside True Crime. I was talking about Trump meme coins and how it's a scam, and talking about the deep state, how they're utilizing the money to control you. I put this in the chat. After you guys are done watching this, smoke the like Cheech and Chong. Hit the subscribe button for me. But go to Inside True Crime. Go watch this. It's at 5,500 views, 8 hours in. Get this to 20K views. Get this to one of the most viewed videos that he's put out, so the people know. Comment on it, like it, do all that, and then do the same here. And thank you guys all for joining me for this great rip, all 200 of you. Smoke the like Cheech and Chong, and I will see you guys all at the next one.